Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. I've had a lot of people on the comment section of the videos ask me about a video on how to save seeds. One of the first ones I'm going to show you is how to save seeds in tomatoes. Now tomatoes, cucumbers, things like that, eggplants, it's all going to be done the same exact way, because they're a seed that is encased inside a gel liquid inside of a fruit. So remember that. Whatever I do here today, just follow those instructions for cucumbers and so on. Cantaloupe seeds, anything like that's enclosed in a gel membrane like it's inside a tomato. The first thing you want to do is label the container, because I know here from experience, when you begin to start putting seeds in things, you will forget, or they'll get shifted around. You won't remember what variety is what. So label the container, and just a plain little cheap bowl from any convenience store. And the next thing you want to do is make sure you get a good ripe tomato, one that's good and red on the outside. Now this is an Amish paste, and usually what I do is I hold the tomato over the container and I'll split it half in two and peel it open. You'll begin to see the veins inside it here. I just simply take my fingers and start raking out the seeds. When you get those veins cleaned out, split the tomato again and reach inside it. Don't worry about the pulp, just let it run out in there. I cut them from top to bottom when I do this. Now, this Amish paste, one of the things about an Amish paste is it's a little bit different. I know it's a little bit hard to see here, but I have to hold them. The Amish paste is a little bit different than other tomatoes. It doesn't have a whole lot of seeds. It's mostly meat. That's one of the reasons we use them here at Deep South Homestead. We don't usually like a lot of juice. We're into more meaty tomatoes. And the Amish paste is a real meaty one for us, but it works for all tomatoes. The same process does. Just reach in and just jerk all that stuff out of there. Just clean it out. And again, from top to bottom, cut it. Rake out any seeds. Then you just have clean meat there. There's no seeds in it. We'll take one more. Now we're going to cut this from top to bottom. Give you two halves. You're going to start out, rake your seeds out by hand. Just take your finger. There'll be little veins in it. That's what we like about the Amish paste. They don't have a lot of seeds, that's why we have to be really careful with them. They're a good meaty tomato. Just keep raking till they'll all fall out. Let the gel come out with them. You're not going to get every little seed, but you'll get most of them. And you'll get the gist of it. We're going to cut them again lengthwise. Let all this fall out, not going to hurt a thing. Next one. Run your fingers down in there and push them seeds out. Now every tomato will be a little bit different, but you'll figure it out. Okay, this is what it's going to look like when you get through. You're going to see the pulp and the seeds all mixed together. Don't let that bother you. First thing we're going to do is come over under the water faucet. You're going to run about probably about an inch of water in it. Like you can see it in the side of the thing here. You're going to run it and you're just going to let it set like this. You're going to put it over to the side, and it's going to take anywhere between 2 and 5 days for this to actually ferment. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like once that's... Okay, now this one right here we've brought in here. This is a yellow pear tomato that we saved seeds from. And you see how it's fermented all on the top here? It's molded over. You're going to want to take the end of something like a fork or just a stick or anything. You're going to want to stir that around and kind of break that mold up. That kind of helps break all the scum loose in there. Now the reason we do this process is, I know a lot of people's going to want to know what the reason is. The reason is these seeds are inside a gel coat. That gel coat is on those seeds to protect them for a solid year, to keep them from coming up until it's a year old. That seed is not supposed to come up for another year. By doing what we're doing, we're taking that protective coat off of that seed and we're allowing it to be able to germinate at any given time you're ready to use it. Whether it's 2 weeks from now or whether it's a year from now, that seed is still viable. Now once we get it mixed up, I'll run some extra water in it just to kind of help break it up a little more. Then I'll take a little strainer like this one here. These are real cheap, you can get them in any dollar store. And I start pouring this through this strainer. And I'll usually pour it for a little while so I start getting down to where I see most of my seeds at, like this here. Then I stop. And I'll set them over to the side. I take my finger and I start working this around like this, kind of pushing them seeds down in there and mashing all that mildew stuff down. Then I'll go back and I'll turn the water on and let it kind of just gradually trickle through it, and I just keep washing. Some people put them inside a container and shake them and do all kinds of things. I prefer to take my fingers and actually scrub it off inside this here. Next thing I do is I take a paper towel and I mark the name of the tomato on top of it. Now this happens to be a yellow pear tomato. And I try to get as much water off the seeds as I can. And I'll take them and I just bump them over like that and I'll let them sit there for a minute. I run some more water back into this. This is just a process. I just pour them. I just keep putting water. Slosh it around there a little bit. And I just keep pouring it in there. Then I go back and I turn the water on. Do the same thing again. I just take my fingers and I kind of rub these seeds around in here. Try to push as much of that old gummy stuff off of them as I can. You'll be able to tell it because you'll be able to feel it on your finger. They start getting a dry feeling and they'll start wanting to stick to your finger. Once I get through that, I kind of tap it just a little bit because there's still water in it. And we're wanting to get as much of that water out of it as we can. There's still lots of water coming out of the bottom of this. I can see it hitting in the sink down here. Then we'll bring it over back on that same paper towel and I'll turn it over because see, this is clean now. Then I'll go back and I'll take these seeds and take my fingers and kind of start scattering them around because you want them scattered out. You don't want them to stay in too big of a pile. The more you scatter them out, the better off they'll be and the faster they'll dry. And they're going to stick to your finger now, so don't let that be a concern to you. Alright, once I get to that point, be really careful. Okay, we take them and I take a plate. We got some plates on our table here and I kind of lay them in the middle of that plate. I leave them laying out to dry. Okay, here I have 2 paper towels that I have yellow pear tomato seeds on that's been drying for about a week and a half. And you'll notice how they're like in little clumps. What I do is I just take these clumps between my fingers and I just start rolling them. And when you roll them between your fingers, the little seeds come apart. It's not going to hurt them, and they just kind of break and fall out into individual little seeds. I know this might be a kind of a slow process, but it's the way that works really well. Just keep doing this until you get all of them on the papers separated out like that, because you want your seeds to be separated into individual seeds. The next thing you're going to want to do is take you a pack, mark the type of tomato and the year on it so that you automatically know what year. Now you want to take this and fold it in half, like that's the way I usually do it, and just take these tomato seeds, dump them in here. Now, you know, not every one's going to come off the paper. You'll have to go back and, you know, you have to scrape the other few loose like that. And you go back and dump them in there. Then when you get that done, you just make sure you get them good sealed on them so they don't come loose. Push all the air out, seal them up, and they should stay like this. Tomatoes, I've used them up to 3 and 4 years without any problems. So, you know, this is the way we save seed here at Deep South Homestead. Thank you from Deep South Homestead.